Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron. I hope you're having a great day or night in Jesus. We're in lesson 74 of our verse-by-verse journey through the book of Matthew. It's exciting. And we're here towards the end of the book of Matthew, and it goes from the ultimate tragedy to the ultimate triumph. Now, when I say tragedy, of course, I'm talking really in an earthly sense, because seeing the passion and the sufferings of the sinless one, God in flesh, Jesus Christ, is devastating. But at the same time, it was necessary for our salvation. And so he was only dead for 3 days and 3 nights, and then he came back, and he lives forevermore, and we can live forevermore too. So let's look at some of this, the illegal trials of Jesus. There's a couple great famous books out on that. I think James Stalker may have written one. I'm thinking a guy named Brown wrote one as well, but you can Google that. So verse 39, or DuckDuckGo it, or whatever you use, and he went a little further. This is Jesus in the Mount of Olives. This is his desperate praying. We find out in another place in the harmonious of the Gospels that it was sweating like great drops of blood. And so in verse 40 it says, "And he cometh unto his disciples after this intense prayer, and findeth them asleep, and saith unto Peter, What, could ye not watch with me 1 hour? Now that was very famous. Larry Lee wrote a book in like 1988 called Could You Not Tarry 1 Hour? And it was about just spending an hour a day in prayer. Really helped a lot of people, I will say that, but that's really not the point he was making there. Jesus is just telling his disciples, and notice Peter had just said, I'll never forsake you, I'll die for you. He's like, you can't even stay awake an hour. And this is how weak you are. So verse 41, watch and pray. Now that's also like in Mark 13, I think it is. That's another kind of Jesus' watchword phrases, especially at the end time. But here he's telling Peter, watch and pray that ye, now he's talking to Peter, James, and John that were with him, enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing. This is very instructive of our Christian life. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. So we have to rely on God. There's so often we want to do good, we want to do right, but we end up living in Romans 7 instead of Romans chapter 8, the overcoming spirit-filled life. So the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. This was before Pentecost, so they had not experienced the born-again experience. So that's huge in the Christian life. So verse 42, Jesus, he went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me except I drink it, thy will be done. Notice how he's seeing the future. He's knowing the weight of the world. He that knew no sin became sin for us, that we might become the righteousness of God in him. And then verse 43, and he came again and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. Verse 44, and he left them and went away again and prayed the third time, saying the same words. There's a lot of people that say, you pray something once and then you thank God for it. Well, Jesus prayed the exact same thing 3 times, and he was God in flesh. I'll go with Jesus on that one. I know about vain repetitions, but that's not what that's referring to. That's something else, like saying the same thing over and over. Verse 45, as far as, I don't want to insult anybody's religion or religious practices here, but it's like doing the beads and all of this. Verse 45, then cometh he to his disciples and saith to them, sleep on now and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand that doth betray me. So Judas had already sold him out for 30 pieces of silver. Covenanted, incredible language, covenant language. And then ultimate betrayal, Judas carried through with this betrayal. So we're going to stop there. Jesus knows what it's like to be hurt, and he's touched with the feeling of our infirmities. If you've ever been hurt, Jesus loves you, loves us all. He cares, he knows, he understands. Bye-bye.